We're going to start with the pry tool and start on the left side of the car stereo and pry this panel up from around the gear shift. Prying this is going to release and come all the way across, turn sideways, remove it up over the gear shift, and we're going to check this panel. There's all the white clips are on the panel. These release with pry pressure. Make sure they're still on the panel. If they're not, remove them from the slots where they came from and place it on the panel so it can be ready for installation. We're going to start again over on the right side. Start across. Open the glove box. We're going to grasp the bottom of the panel, and it's going to help release it and bring it aside, and that's going to pop right off. At the end of the dash here, we're going to pry the end of the panel off. Just pry it back to release it so the other panel will come back, and then we'll be able to remove this panel. Again, check the panel for all the clips along the panel as well. They will either stay on the panel or remain in the openings that are here along the dash as well. Next, we're going to start with the panel above the dash, and this is another panel all the way across. We're going to start over the side and pry this panel from the edge of the dash. It works all the way across. You're going to get the little panel from inside the display and so on. We're going to pull this panel forward. There is two tricks when it comes to this portion. This has to be removed because the stereo is attached. This attaches to the top of the stereo, and the stereo won't come out with this panel on. We can remove this one panel. There is 1, 2, 3 connectors here underneath the panel, and we're going to pull this back and get to these connectors. The top connector has a trigger on the top. We're going to push this trigger down. We're going to do the same for the triggers on the other 2 connectors at the controls here, and these all release. These connectors are all different sizes and are keyed to fit one specific spot, so they can go back to one spot. Now we're going to move on. Now with the car stereo here, we're going to come down to the right side of the dash, and there's a panel insert here all along the side, and we're going to pry along this. These are some tough clips, so they are somewhat tough to remove. And this is going to allow us to remove this panel. Again, clips all along the panel and so on. And we had one clip that didn't come off with the panel, so we're going to place that back on the panel, slap that back on. Now this is going to allow access to one Phillips screw here at the bottom. This is so that the front center console can come apart, and we're going to remove this one screw. We're going to come up to the hanger hold here higher on the panel and open this hanger up, and there's also a screw internal to this that we're going to remove, one on each side of the hanger here, so there are 2 screws internal to this opening. This also helps hold the front center console in place as well. Now, as we've gotten into this one a little ways, we realize that this radio at some time has been out of the dash before, because what we're going to have to do here is, the reason for taking the screws out here on the right side, and we're going to do the same here on the left side here in a minute, is to remove the center console, because this is over part of the lip of getting the stereo out of the dash too. But now that we have this whole front panel out, there are 4 more screws to remove. One is right here on the right. This deals with the panel along below the center console here. This screw is missing, which means this car has been apart before. We have a second screw here as well that needs to be removed, a Phillips screw. And on the left side here, down here next to the bottom of the car stereo, it should be a 3rd Phillips screw to remove. And then a 4th here, up here on the left next to the gear shift. Now these 4 screws are missing in this vehicle, but they do need to be removed in order to get the center console out of the way. So next we're going to move down to the left side of the center console here, and we're going to remove this little tab here, the cover here, and this is going to allow the clip to release. What the clip does is you lift the clip up and it separates and allows the clip to remove. And then we'll remove this clip, and then we're going to come back, and again, these clips were all tough along the edge here, so we're going to start here at the top and start removing these, pulling back to release these clips, and work our way down and around the bottom here. And we're going to remove this panel. We're going to check this panel as well for the clips that remain on it here, so that if they fall off into the car, you know to put them back on. Now we're going to set this panel to the side, and we're going to come back and remove the one 10mm bolt here, or excuse me, the one Phillips screw here on the left that holds the left side of the panel in place. Now we have seen on another panel that this hose, although it goes back here and ends nowhere, that this hose can be connected. There can be one on each side. You may have to remove the hose in order to get to the screws and get access. Now with all these panels loose, this is going to allow us to, let's say, grasp the left side of this panel, the front lower panel, and pull it forward, and it releases back. There will be two clips here. Again, we can see that this panel has been off before because we're missing the clip here on the left, but we have the one here on the right. I don't see it here anywhere in the opening or anything as well. But the reason we're taking this panel back is because it goes into the front panel as well. Okay, now that we've got this back and we've checked, we're going to take our 8mm socket and remove one screw here on the right, one up here on the top right part of the bracket as well. The upper screws have a large washer on it. The bottom screw here on the left of the car stereo. We're taking this out of the car today because we have a variety of coins and objects placed into the DVD player, and we're going to take this apart and see what we can do about taking care of this. We have a full library of removal guides on our website, along with some how-to and do-it-yourself repairs. Please see our website, carstereohelp.com. Now we have this, going to grasp the upper and lower part of the radio and pull it forward. This is going to give access to the back of the stereo here. We have plenty of room here and many connectors. We're going to start with the main antenna here. The antenna has the trigger on the side of it, so you push that in to release. The remaining connectors all have triggers at the top row has them at the bottom row has them at the top. Again, these connectors are all keyed, so they only go back to one spot, and you don't have to label them as to where they go. We do have one trick connector here. Again, all these connectors have a little trigger at the top of them, here at the top, and you push that down with your thumb, and that allows the lock to release. The one connector that is different than all the rest is the main connector, and this connector has a little bit different way to remove it. Now again, to be specific on the last connector here, there's a little trigger here. We're going to push that trigger down, and it's going to allow the arm, as you push that down, allow the arm to push up, and as that arm pushes up, it goes to the side and pushes the connector up out of the socket. Now, in order to place this specific connector back in, we're going to place it back into the opening, and the arm will start to push its way back into place, and you just lock it back down. Now, this is how you remove the stereo Honda Odyssey. Hope this video has been helpful. Again, see our full library of removal guides at carstereohelp.com. Thank you for watching.